Sean, thanks for taking time out in this busy schedule of yours to start off with a filly that came from Cape Town, had a sparkling season, had a nice break and really bounced back beautifully in consequentially race one.
Yeah, very pleased with the last win. We've kept her at the mile just to get the second run out of the way. I think she's going to be competitive in this race, and hopefully we can step up in distance after this.
Special day for South African horse racing. Matthew on Saturday, starting off in the second race with horse number 3, straight out the maidens, TARRY.
Yeah, and he didn't really win convincingly last time. He kind of walked across the line. Was over 1,200, so we bringing him back to 1,000 in handicap company. It'll give us a good idea of what ability he has or doesn't have. So we'll learn a lot from Saturday.
Yeah, I actually now remember your post-race interview wasn't bubbling with confidence, but how did he take the run and what has he shown you subsequent?
He took the run well. He has been the type of horse that's been disappointing though. So he's got a lot of speed and he just doesn't fulfill his promise. So hopefully the 5 furlongs is going to be up his alley.
Super. Then onto a very talented individual in a very special race, a horse called Pilu, race number 3.
I think he needed his last run, which was against winners. He's going to be very competitive, although we are drawn poorly. If that doesn't hamper his chances, he's got a chance. He's got a big chance.
You start off in the first leg of the place accumulator, triple fisted with all of Calabro, Golden Gate Bridge and Star Path.
Yeah, no real preferences there, Andy. Calabro, nice type of a horse, placed last time, and it's his first run for us, but I do believe he'll go well. He's shown, good work. He should be concerned with the finish. And Star Path, back in trip, which is, it's a bit of a worry. Of course, we're there for the prize money, if we can get it. But handy draw. I think he can race from up there. So, he's kind of one pace, but he's improving all the while. So I would expect a good run from him as well. And Golden Gate Bridge. It wasn't the worst debut. Came from the back of the field from a poor draw, and definitely come on from that run. So bad draw again, which is a pity. But I think improvement to come.
In the fourth race, first leg of the pick six, all of Bandana, Hope Solo and Shepherd's Delight.
Obviously, for this kind of money, we're taking a chance and just hoping that one of them come through. They're all fitting well. On Bandana's best form, I think she could win. And the other two, they show enough to get a blow in.
Yeah, Cascapedia, this race is probably two weeks too early for her. We just entered her in case she got in. It's a nice big stake, so it's worth a go. She has been showing us ability, but she'll be green and she'll come on from the run. But I wouldn't be surprised to see her pop up in the money because, like I said, she's been showing us some nice work at him.
Number 15, Miss Bulsara, number 16, Rendezvous, and 18, who's the second reserve.
Yeah, Miss Bulsara, she's shown us some decent work, and I think this trip will be more to her liking. So I'm hoping for a decent effort from her. Rendezvous, a bit of an ordinary debut. I must say we were all very disappointed. We've seen better work than that from her. So well drawn and Pierre on board. I'm hoping she can improve. I don't know if Splashy will get a run. It doesn't look like it.
Lovely. Then the first leg of the jackpot, you expressed a measure of disappointment about Count Tessilla, but he seems to be on the upgrade now, and Prospect Strike, no secrets about his talent.
Yeah, we've been scratching our head, unfortunately, with Prospect Strike. He's run very, very good races in Group 1s, but we just can't get him to win. So we're trying the blinkers and coming back to the 1400. I hope it works out. I think he'll run a good race. And Count Tessilla, I think for some reason he doesn't seem to get the mile. So we're coming back to the 14.
Right, on to the fifth race, triple fisted with all of Aladel, Farik and Jubilee Line.
Yeah, Jubilee Line's been a bit disappointing. Anyway, his work continues to be good. We're trying the tongue tie on him and maybe just one or two other things we're going to change. So hopefully that brings out the best in him. Farik's a very honest type and he's fit and well, so he should give a good account of himself. And Aladel's a nice young horse who was used as a pacemaker last time, so you can obviously put a line through that. But he's fit and well once again and also should be right there.
Okay, then on to the sixth, we've got Dawn Flight.
Dawnflight out at the weights, we're taking an absolute chance for black type.
Yeah, start with Zanti. She's really starting to come to hand now. She was a bit virusy back in the sort of middle of the summer, and she's threw in one bad run there. But I must say, the longer she's been here, the better she's sort of, obviously adapted. She's very fit. She did a super grass gallop in the week, so I'm hoping that she's going to be right there. And Silver Stripe, I think, well weighted. I don't think the handicap has quite caught up with her yet. Loves the track and trip, and if she puts in one of those, best efforts of hers, I think she would take a lot of beating.
Massive representation, of course, in the Empress Club Grade 1 with all of Heaps of Fun, Intergalactic, the ruling favourite Safe Harbour, Tahini and Trophy Wife. Very strong hand.
Oh, it's hard to go through all of them, but I mean they've been well prepared, and I think they've all got chances. Obviously, Safe Harbour is the stable elect and looks to have the liveliest chance. But I mean, really, Tahini won in fantastic fashion last time out. Intergalactic needed a run badly. She'll come on nicely. She's up to this company, and we all know Trophy Wife. She needs no introduction. And Heaps of Fun is a filly that won the Fillies Guineas last season. It's been a little disappointing, but in her work she's coming back. So, I can't really steer the public in the right direction other than I think Safe Harbour is the right one.
Yeah, Alhora is a nice filly. I think she's best at a mile. She's got a deep jaw to overcome. It's going to be a very big test of her ability from that jaw, but she's fitting well. Another Russia, she's been a very honest filly, always running the first three. She's got a nice jaw. It's a big test. She's won a big race in handicap company last time, but this time it's weight for age, and so it's a big step up for her. But we're expecting a good performance. And the Centenary, she's coming back from a rest. She obviously may be a new to the run, but she does enjoy running fresh. But she's probably better suited to a bit further.
Do you have a preference between Alhora and another Russia?
They're both in good form. I think the jaw would maybe make me lean towards another Russia. She's an older, stronger filly, and with a good jaw, it'll be a lot easier for her.
Okay, well, if ever you've been hoping for a scratching, it'll be with Aldanza, because you were right on the money last time out when you explained the bias of the draw in Cape Town, the fact that she'd come back here well. She won with authority, and I'd believe that she'd be a runner.
Andy, I think so. It's obviously you want to test your horses in the best company. She's always shown us above average ability. She hadn't been the luckiest draw-wise, and when you do finally crack a good draw in a Grade 1, you find yourself being reserve runner, which is is a bit disappointing. I was surprised that her merit rating didn't get adjusted from the last win. I guess the handicapper would say she didn't run above her rating. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But I do feel that if she had to get a run, she's going to be competitive. Although it is obviously a wildly competitive race. But I think enough of her, or we think enough of her to run her there. If she does get a run, she gets a run, and I do hope so.
Similar sort of situation, a bit like Bipot, where you're impressed with the way that she won her maiden and that she went on from there into classic company.
Yeah, look, she didn't let us down. I think some of these fillies, they're only really starting to come to hand now. Bipot's probably a good example. And I feel that actually Aldanza is in the same bracket. As she's got stronger, a little older, she clearly needs a bit of ground. The fact that she's placed twice in Grade 3 sprints is, I think that bears testament to, her ability. And she's twice the filly she was back in November.
Lovely. Then on to the 8th, a horse called V-Man with a scratching of Brave Nomad.
I think he's also finding his form at the right time, and I think the blinkers have definitely helped him. His best trip is probably a mile, but I think 1400 is still within his range, and he'll be running on nicely.
And obviously remiss of me not to have mentioned a very good-looking individual with a lovely pedigree and certainly not short of ability in West Coast Warrior.
Yes, drawn a little deep, but I think a nice galloping weight, and he's run really well, and I think he's not out of it.
Okay, the million-dollar question, just off the top of your head, if there was one horse that you'd really be confident of using as a roving banker in all doubles and trebles?
I don't think I have one of those on the day. I think Safe Harbour is probably my best on the day, and that's no easy task.